FIDA Nigeria is a voluntary association of women called to the practice of law in Nigeria, with over 4,000 members in 43 branches across the 36 states of the Federation. Our mandate is to promote, protect, and preserve the rights, interests, and well-being of women and children through the use of legal framework to ensure that they live free from all forms of discrimination, violence, and abuse in the society, and to also pursue a just, peaceful, and equitable Nigerian society where women and children's rights, interests are guaranteed, including the freedom to choose and live their future. FIDA Nigeria has been involved in sensitization, awareness programs, and advocacy for passage of bills on human rights and upholding it.
Hello everyone, great FIDAns, wonderful friends and sisters of International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA Nigeria. My name still remains Rhoda Prevail Tyoden, and I'm the Country Vice President and National President, International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA Nigeria. The current EXCO came on board on the 25th of January 2019 when Honorable Inime Aguma, CVP Emeritus, handed over to me. And I want to say that it has been a wonderful journey, so far so good. We took off, and by the grace of God, we are where we are, all by His grace and by the dint of hard work of all the members of FIDA Nigeria in all the branches that we now have. I am happy I belong to this wonderful family called FIDA Nigeria. FIDA Nigeria has offered me a platform to give back to society and to serve humanity. And I know it is the same thing for all of you that are listening to me, the great FIDAs. Because in my work as former National Secretary and now the Country Vice President, I've seen the exhibition of passion and zeal exhibited by you people to ensure that we achieve the aims and objectives of FIDA Nigeria. So I want to take you through what we have been doing in the past 3 years.
FIDA Nigeria Project Overview between the period of 2019 to 2021. Akata Foundation supported FIDA Nigeria on a project titled Enabling Capacity for the Adoption and Implementation of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, AGJA 2015. This 3-year project was inherited from the past administration. This project, simply referred to as 1.0, commenced in October 2017 and was concluded in December 2020. The project was implemented in 14 states. It focused on building the capacity of FIDA members and other criminal justice actors to improve the Nigerian criminal justice sector, thereby enhancing access to justice for indigent women and children across the Federation. FIDA Nigeria was supported by ActionAid on a project titled Women's Voice and Leadership, the WVL project. This was a 5-year project in the FCT. The first year of the project was geared towards the mitigation of gender-based violence through the training of community paralegals in the Federal Capital Territory. The second year of the project sought to institutionalize the trained paralegals and strengthen the capacity of FIDA Nigeria through the appraisal and validation of the new 5-year strategic plan. The WVL project is set to continue in 2022. During the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, ActionAid supported FIDA Nigeria with a COVID-19 top-up intervention fund. The purpose of the fund was to respond to the rising cases of GBV, particularly in Ebonyi, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, and Rivers during the period of the 2020 lockdown. The fund was applied to providing temporary shelter to survivors of GBV, providing psychosocial support and counseling, and legal representation to survivors of GBV. In 2020, the Embassy of Switzerland supported FIDA Nigeria in carrying out a project titled mitigation of gender-based violence through the training of community paralegals in the Federal Capital Territory. The one-year project was implemented in 2 communities each in 3 different area councils, wherein 10 women in each of the area councils were trained on basic human rights principles and the protection offered to women and girls in the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015. The EU-UN Women's Spotlight Initiative is a 4-year project. The first phase of the project was implemented in Adamawa, Lagos, Ebonyi, Cross Rivers, Sokoto, and Abuja. We expect the second phase to commence before the end of 2021. FIDA Nigeria is driving outcomes 1 and 2 of the Spotlight Initiative. Outcome 1 seeks to entrench legislative and policy frameworks based on evidence and in line with international human rights standards on all forms of violence against women and girls and harmful practices, while Outcome 2 seeks to enhance national and subnational systems and institution plans, fund and deliver evidence-based programs that prevent and respond to violence against women and girls and harmful practices. With support from Ford Foundation, FIDA Nigeria is currently carrying out a project titled Work with Gatekeepers, including women leaders, youth, religious leaders, and traditional rulers to address social norms that negatively affect the status of women and entrench violence against women and girls. The project is aimed at mitigating the incidence of gender-based violence in 2 communities each in Ekiti, Lagos, and Plateau states by altering the social norms, beliefs, and traditional practices in the target communities through community-led change. In 2020, with support from the Commonwealth Foundation, FIDA Nigeria worked on a regional policy brief with a specific focus on violence against women and girls. The document highlights the current forms of violence against women and girls, especially in the era of COVID-19 in the West African sub-region. It involves research, data collection, analysis, collation, and documentation of inputs that will serve as the basis for the adoption of strategies to respond to violence against women and girls. The policy brief is to enable policy change and implementation for the reduction of violence against women and girls and access to services during emergencies. MacArthur Foundation supported FIDA Nigeria in 2021 on a project titled Strengthening Collaboration Among Criminal Justice Actors to deepen the criminal justice architecture to ensure the effective implementation of the ACJA and ACJL in FIDA Nigerian state branches. This project is simply referred to as 2.0. The 2.0 seeks to strengthen the collaboration between the bar, bench, correctional service, and the Nigerian police force to institutionalize the gains of the network which was created in 1.0. and to ensure the effective implementation of the ACJA, ACJLs in the focal states through engagements with members of the network, the administration of criminal justice monitoring committees, ACJMCs, and other criminal justice actors. FIDA Nigeria has been selected as a resource partner on the implementation of strengthening civil advocacy and local engagements, simply called the SCALE project. The project is supported by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, through the Palladium Group. FIDA will be working on sector strengthening and advocacy and countering trafficking in persons components of the project. FIDA Nigeria, in its capacity as a gender-focused led CSO, fronting the fight against gender injustice in Nigeria, decided to support and sponsor an internal project in the basic human rights principles and the protection offered to women and girls in the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 by training of community paralegal in 34 FIDA Nigeria active state branches as an extension of FIDA's mandate.
Having talked about the programs, projects, activities that we embarked on in the past 3 years, I want to just mention a bit about other things that we did during this tenure. When we came on board, we had 32 states, branches, including the Federal Capital Territory. And by the grace of God, we got the other 3 states, which is Bauchi States, Katsina, and Zamfara. They came on board. These 3 states were inaugurated with FIDA branches in the last 1 year, that is from 2020 to 2021. So I'm happy to say that all the states of the Federation are now on board. And apart from the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory that we have our branches, we also now have branches within states. And this is all in a bid to take our services to the people. Because like I've always said, people have accused us of being an elitist organization, that we're only in state capitals. But to the glory of God, today we have branches within the states. And so far, we have about 7 branches now that have sprung up after the 36 states, including the FCT. We have Badagry and Ikorodu that came out from Lagos branch. We have Eket from Akwa Ibom. We have Warri branch from Delta State branch. And we have Zaria from Kaduna State branch. And now, last but not the least, we have Gogbalada from the FCT branch. All in all, we now have 43 branches of FIDA Nigeria. And that is to tell you that we are going to reach out to a greater population of Nigeria, because we know that so many people clamor to have us attend to them, but because of distance, or one thing or the other, the economic situation of the country cannot even allow them access us in our respective state capitals. So I'm happy to say that FIDA now has opened her doors to all communities, and I know the number is still counting. And so I want to congratulate all FIDAs for this giant stride that we are now reaching out to more communities. So as of now, we have 43 branches of FIDA Nigeria, and I say congratulations to all of us. Apart from getting more branches, I'm happy to say that we now have a very conducive, convenient place to operate and carry out our activities. And that is that we now have a national secretariat owned by and for FIDA Nigeria. We got a house in the heart of Abuja, in Area 2, if you know Abuja very well. And for those of you that have been to Abuja, you have been to the National Secretariat. We were able to do this with support from our partners and with your cooperation and your support. So we now have a FIDA house in Abuja that belongs to us. So I congratulate all of you. Thank you for all the support, and especially the National Executive Committee for working tirelessly to ensure that this came to be. And I want to seize this opportunity to thank you also for all that you sacrificed to make it a reality. Your development fee levy, people are still paying that, and I want to say thank you. And for our partners, to our well-wishers, some that don't want their names to be mentioned, all contributed towards it. So today we have what we call FIDA House, which serves as our FIDA National Secretariat. Apart from that, we also during this era reviewed our constitution and brought in quite a number of innovative things in order for us to also work with time. We now have a uniform bylaw so that branches don't have to have their own bylaws. So what affects Lagos State branch is what also applies to FCT branch, and that is what we're able to do. We have now a uniform bylaw, and that is why in the uniform bylaw, which was adopted alongside the amended constitution in 2020 during our annual general meeting in Jos Plateau, we also agree that we should now have uniform election so that we run together and we work together. And that is what we have done. And that is why we are now trying to do that by having our elections at the same time. Branches will have elections at the same time, and for 3 years we'll have another election at the same time. So we will not be having fragmented elections. And that is to say that you have your national expo coming in a month before the branches. So you will work together. If you have any project together, you do it together and finish it together, and then another set of people will come in. And I think that is tidier for us. And that was adopted, and that is what we are doing right now. Another thing is that when we came on board, we also came in together with the BOT members. And our BOT members have been wonderful to us. They've been guiding us, they've been advising us, they've been supporting us financially and otherwise. And we want to appreciate them for that. The registration of the BOT has reached an advanced stage. We know we had some issues, but we have been able to resolve those issues. And by the grace of God, we will soon have the BOT fully incorporated. And so, branches have continued to work tirelessly to ensure that they carry on their activities, their programs, in order to achieve and actualize the objectives of FIDA Nigeria. And I want to say that, on the whole, I'm being modest, but I know that we have done a lot. I'm very proud to be associated with you people. The branches, you have done so well. Branches have come up with new ways of doing their carrying out their programs and activities. And apart from even what I've said, we also have very active portals. Branches have their respective portals, and they fit in their activities, their cases, and all that. So partners don't even have to come to National Secretariat or go to branches. All they need to do is to go to the website, and they'll see what every branch is doing. And I'm happy to say that that is really working. And that is why when partners come to us, they don't even tell us which branch. They just go and choose the branch they want to work with. So I want to use this opportunity to call on you to ensure that you fit your portal with all the activities that you do. And so this is just a summary of what we have been able to do in the past 3 years. And all is because of the cooperation that the National Executive Committee members got from all the branches, the EXCO members of the respective branches, committees, and all that. And I want to say something that I really want to appreciate all of you, because despite the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, it didn't stop us from working. In fact, we did the most work during that period. So people took in survivors of SGBV into their homes and houses. That one is a wonderful thing to do, and I appreciate you for that. And people use their finances, resources, and energy and all to ensure that we do what we do and achieve the results that we achieve. I want to say thank you. I want to also specially use this opportunity to thank all the National Secretariat staff who have been working behind the scenes to ensure that we succeed in FIDA Nigeria. I appreciate you all, from the program manager to the program officers, ICT, finance, admin, everybody. I just want to say you guys were very good, and thank you very much. And also, during this period of insecurity, you know what we are talking about when we talk about insecurity. But throughout this 2021, we had all our NEC meetings. In spite of fear that is instilled, in spite of threatening insecurity challenges and all that. But I want to say that God did it all. He went ahead of us. We had our successful NEC meetings. We had one in Oka. We saw what happened, but it never affected us. I want to say we thank God for that, and I thank members for daring to take the step to go. When God has gone ahead of you, everything is possible. We did Oka, we did Jos at the end of last year, and we went and came back successfully. We went to Oka, we came back successfully. We went to Asaba, the same thing. We went to Kaduna, it was a huge success. In fact, in the case of Kaduna, when I thought about it, I said, God, you are awesome. Because less than a week after we left Kaduna, the train, which most of us use, was bombed. Is it not God? So I want to seize and use this opportunity to thank all FIDANs for giving me this opportunity to lead and steer the ship of this organization in the past 3 years. All that we have achieved, it is by His grace, and it is by the dint of your hard work, your sacrifices, your commitments, and all. So I want to say a big thank you on behalf of all the FIDA Executive Committee members, National Executive Committee members, the respective branch EDCO members. I want to thank all FIDANs for giving us your support. We might not have done it so well as you wanted it, but I know all that we did was because of the support that you gave us. And we do not take it for granted. And wherever we have erred or wronged you, it is all because we wanted the work to be done. So I want to say thank you once again. This is Rhoda Prevail Tyoden, Country Vice President, FIDA Nigeria 2019 to 2021. And I remain proudly FIDA. Thank you very much.